and welcome to a new episode of Chasing 80s Toys. And before we kick off this video, I'd like to announce that this is not a sponsored video, but I do want to thank Mark from Old School Toys, because that's where I bought the toys I'm going to show you today. And I just want to thank Mark, the owner of Old School Toys, for adding a little something extra to my order. And that's these two Power Sword keychains. So it's a little nice touch, which brought a smile to my face when I was already pretty happy with the new toys I got. So Mark, thanks again. Information about Old School Toys can be found in the description below. But now, onwards with the toys of today's video. Welcome to another episode of Chasing 80s Toys, and for this episode we're diving deeper into the Masters of the Universe Origins toy line. And to be more specific, what we have here is the cartoon collection. I got two figures from Wave 2, Teela and Trapjaw. We're going to take a look at them. And in previous episodes, you can already see me have a look at Wave 1 of this cartoon collection line. So we already had a look at He-Man, Skeletor, Beastman and Man-at-Arms, and those four made up the first wave. And what we have here is, like I said, Teela and Trapjaw from the cartoon collection, so they have that Filmation cartoon look about them. And we're gonna have a look at these in and out of the packaging. So let's start by taking a look at the card backs of this cartoon collection lineup. Like with the Origins and the Vintage, you got some beautiful artwork on top. And here we see some of the figures that are coming up in Wave 2. So we see Merman and Stratos, who are going to be brought to us in the near future. Also fun that you can see some of the cartoon scenes back on this artwork, like Teela practicing with one of the practice bots. And here we have Trapjaw gaining strength and power by eating, I think this is a Corodite crystal, and I think we're gonna see these two props added to the accessories of these figures. Like I mentioned with Wave 1, we got different card backs. So here we have a mini comic version of Trapjaw on the classic Origins card back, which takes its inspiration from the vintage card backs from back in the 80s. The exploding background, Masters of the Universe logo. We get a total different backdrop, Castle Grayskull, and the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe logo that we see in the Filmation cartoon. So this is totally aimed on the Filmation cartoon series. And now without further ado, let's unleash these figures from their card backs. Now, like all figures in the Masters of the Universe Origins toy line, the cartoon collection is no exception when it comes to bringing a mini comic to the party, and you get the same story, the same mini comic with both Trapjaw and Teela. And this one is called Time's End. Now bear in mind, the figures that I can get my hands on are worldwide releases, and worldwide releases don't have text bubbles in the story. And now onwards to the figures themselves. And here they are released from the card back, Trapjaw and Teela. And these are definitely the cartoon versions, no doubt about it. They look so much like their counterparts from the Filmation cartoon. Posable, like all the Origins figures. And if you want, there's some mixing and matching to be done. If you want to take off some of the arms or heads or leg parts, you know, you can mix and match with some of the other figures. Each of the figures comes with a small sheet that instructs you which parts can be taken off, so you can do that mix and matching. I'm not going to go through all of that because we've done that so many times in previous figures from this Origin toy line. What we're going to look at is these accessories. We got a bit of Corodite crystal here. I think it's called Corodite crystal. And in one of the Filmation cartoon episodes, we see Trapjaw get its hands on part of this crystal, decides to eat it.
As powerful as He-Man. Uh-oh.
In that episode, Trapjaw becomes a real challenge for He-Man, so that's a cool one to check out.
I can feel it. It's working.
And Teela comes with the practice bot, which is used by her in one of the episodes where she's practicing in the Eternian Garden against one of these bots to sharpen her skills with the blade and shield. So pretty cool accessories. Wish this would have come with a stand of sorts, so you can put it on a display stand like that, so it's hovering in the air. Teela comes with a shield and with a sword, and this is the sword as we saw depicted so many times in the Filmation cartoon series, so it's so cool that she finally comes with a sword. Trapjaw comes with his belt, which can be removed. Can it be removed? Yeah. If you take off the torso, you can remove the belt. And like with the vintage figure and the previous Origins release of Trapjaw, you can store his weapon on his belt like that. Now, big differences, and we're gonna bring up some of the previous versions of Trapjaw in just a bit. Some of the big differences is that we get his gun, we get the hook, but we don't get the grappler. And previous incarnation of Trapjaw always brought him to us with 3 accessories, and here we just got the 2.
Trapjaw, wizard of weapons.
Got movement in the jaw, and for the rest, all the movement that all the other Origins figures have, so that's pretty cool. So let's bring up some of the other versions of Trapjaw. Now, we already showed you this one earlier in the video, the mini comic version of Trapjaw. In one of the early mini comics, Trapjaw looked like this. But of course, there was the Trapjaw at the start of Origins. And this one was clearly aimed to replicate the vintage Trapjaw from the 80s, which we have over here. Back in the 80s, Trapjaw and both Triclops came with a glow-in-the-dark ring, so that's a fun little side fact of information for you. And you can already see quite the difference in terms of the colors. Here you can see the hook, the gun, and the grappler, and we can see the same accessories with the vintage one. And I suppose they thought 2 accessories was more than enough for this version of Trapjaw, because they also gave him this bit of corrodite crystal. I keep calling it corrodite crystal.
Do I look stupid?
Trapjaw, you not only look stupid, you are stupid.
But the vibrant colors on this Trapjaw are just beautiful. This is the cartoon version, and I really prefer this one over the first Trapjaw we got in Origins. And now let's bring out some comparison for Teela, and we're going to see differences there as well. Here we have the Teela that we got earlier on in the Origins toy line. And she comes with the snake armor. And here we have the original Teela from the 80s. But of course you can take the snake armor off the figure. And then we see Teela in her more recognizable look that we saw in the cartoon, but still you can see the difference here. Colors are way more vibrant. The face is so much more like the Filmation cartoon. On the other hand, we get a bit more detail on the Origins, the first Origins release of Teela. So difference of color scheme here on the boots as well. So in this case of Teela, there are parts that I like about this one, and there are parts that I like about this release of the figure. And here we have the gang complete, or at least these are the 6 figures from the cartoon collection that I have so far. And I really like the look of these. I think I found my favorite subline within the entirety of over 40 years of Master of the Universe toys. Cartoon collection is definitely the way for me to go. And there's so much more coming out in the Origins toy line. Still figures that I don't have yet. I know Bob Hansen, good buddy of mine, and myself are waiting for that version of Too Bad to be released, and either if it's just inspired on the vintage toy or if it is the Too Bad from the Filmation cartoon, I just want to have a version of that figure to see what they do of that. And speaking of Bob Hansen, and speaking of what's more to come in Origins, Bob Hansen has a pretty cool video out on his channel, the Bob Squad channel, on Gringer and Prince Adam, the 2-pack from the cartoon collection. And that's one that's really high on my top wish list, because those who know me know that Gringer is one of my all-time favorite characters in the entire universe of Master of the Universe. And Gringer is expected here in the Netherlands, so it's not going to take too long before he shows up in my collection as well. And then we're going to do a video on him, because I'm 100% Team Gringer. And until then, I have to make do with this version of Gringer. This is from the Mattel Classics series. He fits right in there as well, so this is a pretty nice setup so far, but stay tuned because there's much more coming. And speaking of stay tuned, it's time to close down this video. This is all we have for you on this day's video, but there will be more Chasing 80s Toys content in the near future. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see each and every one of you on the next one.
Yeah.